Hey there, life groups. Welcome back and happy new year 2023. When did that happen? Hey, seriously though, we're so glad that you are connected into the life of a life group. We've always said this, that life groups are undoubtedly the best way to help make a big and growing church feel small and feel like you're relationally tied into people who you can just be friends with and do life with. We're super grateful as well for every single one of your life group leaders and for Steve and Rach and all the work that they do, just facilitating all the way in which life groups work. You're so valuable to us and we're so grateful for everything that you do. You know, this Sunday in church, we kicked off a brand new series, and I guess it was a little bit different because what we were trying to encourage you to do is rather than simply run at it at like 100 miles an hour trying to achieve all of your New Year resolutions, what we actually wanted to do was drop deep into scripture and then reference it against some science about actually there's something that we should all be doing before we go about trying to achieve our goals and just succeed in life, and that's get our mindset right. The reason why we say that is because Solomon, the author of Proverbs, he makes this statement. He says that as a man thinks, so he is. In other words, he was now just letting us know a couple of thousand years earlier what science is telling us too. And that's this, that everything in your life springs from the wealth of the way in which you think. It's your mindset that determines the direction and the trajectory of your life. And that's good on one hand, because if you've got a healthy mindset, then your life's gonna be healthy. But if your mindset can sometimes be a little bit toxic and maybe a little bit full of negative thinking, or you're the guy that gets angry or jealous or resentful or bitter, then what that means is that your mindset's unhealthy. So everywhere you go in your life, you're gonna be there. So your life is gonna end up being somewhat unhealthy. So what we try to do is explore the balance between scripture and science and say, why don't you do these three things? Now, the main thing that we spoke about actually was become a thinker mindset. And then we spoke about having a forgiveness mindset, and then about having a possibilities mindset. But what I want to encourage you to in just life group tonight is talk about the forgiveness mindset. Even Jesus said, you should forgive others in the same way that God forgives you. And yet when we choose not to forgive, we keep these relational strands between us and other people who aren't sometimes even anywhere near us, so close to our heart that it affects us detrimentally. And we carry around with us all of these grudges and all of this anger and all of this resentment. And yet scripture tells us that we should forgive people. And science tells us that when you don't forgive people, man, it's bad for your arteries, it's bad for your heart. The moment that you choose to forgive someone, your arteries open up and all this oxygenated blood rushes to your brain. You live life in a healthier way when you choose to forgive people. So as you talk through those three different mindsets that we've encouraged you to employ this year, maybe we can start off with mindset number 2, the forgiveness mindset. And maybe this can be the question. How easy is it for you to forgive people? How easy is it for you to forgive people? And how does that make you feel if you find it difficult, if it's the very thing that Scripture commands us to do? Have a great night, guys.